My name is Daryl Katerine, and I'm from Syracuse, New York. And I've been a member of the Chagdud Gompa Foundation now for over 20 years. And I first met Chagdud Rinpoche in the early 90s when I was a graduate student in Santa Barbara. And he had come to the city to give a few public talks. And for reasons that I can't really articulate, there was something about him that just drew me in. It was very subtle at first. He came back a second time, and I wanted to go and see him talk again. And I was then just kind of pulled into his orbit. And since I was in graduate school, I knew that I would have more free time as a graduate student than I would once I started work in the working world. So I kind of threw myself into practice early on when I was in Santa Barbara, and I had the great privilege of doing a Dzogchen retreat, a first-year Dzogchen retreat with Rinpoche in the 90s, and my life was completely transformed and has continued to change ever since my connection with this lineage and with the Dharma more generally. And I would say that it's completely transformed me as a person, and continues to. I've been given the opportunity to recondition some of my negative habits, and to get a glimpse into what the promises of the Dharma are. So for me, being a member is a way of giving back, of paying forward and giving back, especially now that I'm not in personal contact with the Yangtze. The idea of being able to support Rinpoche's mission and to help the lineage continue into the future is a deeply fulfilling and meaningful act of service for me. And also, by being a member, I feel like I'm more in the kind of flow of what's happening with the lamas and the practitioners presently. And my wife Jana and I have had the great honor of being able to host lamas here in Syracuse, and we also have been holding a bi-monthly Tara practice group at our house.
My name's Nick, and I am from Spokane, Washington, home of Chagdud Gompa Pema Ling with Lama Yeshe Zangmo, or Inga Zanvos. I've been a paying member for a handful of years, although I was gifted a membership back in about 2014 by my friend JT. I came to Chagdud Gompa Foundation by just starting to go to our temple up here. I'd been questioning about Buddhism, and something about Lama Inga just felt right. Like, she walked the talk. She knew what she was talking about. And I saw the way she handled teachings with just everybody, tailored it perfectly. I came with a lot of anger also. In my 20s, they were extremely tumultuous. I was dealing with like my own orientation, moving out from home, breakup, you name it. It was happening pretty much, just change. And it was difficult. And there was a lot of anger that just kind of came with that. That transformed. It just transformed through practice. It felt weird. I didn't even know what I was doing, why I was doing what I was doing. But over time, these different rituals, these different meditations and teachings took a hold, and they did help out. Also, at that point in time, too, being an elder millennial, finances were sometimes a little tight. And it was actually through the donations of those who were in a stable point at their life where they could donate that also benefited me at that point, because I couldn't afford that. At this point in time, I mean, I'm working from home full time, my debt's under control, everything else. I'm able to pay that forward now to the next generation coming into the Dharma who might be experiencing those same difficulties. They might need that for perhaps hope during the craziness that is 2020, the last handful of years, whatever have you. They might need to resolve some different emotions that are afflicting their lives, and nothing should be a barrier to that. So it feels very appropriate as a result for me to also pay it forward to those who are coming, like those who paid it forward to me. That's what Chagda Gompa kind of means to me in the end, is like that. It is like a family. You take care of each other, you watch out for each other, you learn from those who come before you, and you also pay it forward to those who are coming after you. And I think that's what's probably most amazing about it all.
I'm Max Wellman. I'm from Park City, Utah. I first became connected with Chagda Gompa in 2014. I took a semester off of college and was looking for sort of an alternative lifestyle, an alternative place to live and work. I had no idea what this place was or what it entailed to live here or volunteer here. But I linked up with Abby Rogers, who was the head office coordinator at that point. And I just took a chance and came here. And I lived and volunteered here for about 3 months, and then I went back to college. And throughout my college experience and a little bit after that, I would try to find the time in between semesters and summer breaks, whenever really things aligned, to come here and offer time and resources to the Gompa and offer to the Dharma, be with my friends here in the Sangha. And I didn't really become a member until about a year ago. I think it was the middle of 2019. And I felt like it was just an easier way to sort of maintain a consistent connection and support of the Gompa's activities, sort of in the in-between periods. For me, it was always sort of on or off, hot or cold. I was either here and giving all my time and energy really to here, or often doing my own thing at my job or in college or sort of in my worldly things. And being a member allowed me to sort of merge those two things and feel that connection to the lamas here and their activities, and just give what I could and give sort of consistently and not in big spurts like that. And so I think it's important that we give what we have. For me, it's not all that much, but it's the monthly aspect for me. Simply getting an email is a helpful reminder of why I'm working, holding down a job. The reminder of my motivation to sort of come back into that, sort of a refresh on my state. I think it's helpful for practitioners who struggle like me to sort of give yourself that advantage of maintaining that connection throughout the year, rather than just whenever you're able to fly in for a retreat, or especially now, since that's not really an option this year. So I felt like it was a big advantage to me personally, almost in a sort of selfish way, that it was an easy way to support the activities here.
Hi, I'm BJ Moore. I'm from Chico, California. I came into the Chagda Gompa in 2003 when Catherine Gessner invited me to come to meet Lama Tsering, who was doing a Red Tara retreat. I talked to my friends into going, and we didn't know what we were doing. They said to dress comfortably, so we came in sweats, which we learned was not the proper way. We stayed in Weaverville, but we went back and forth for the Red Tara teachings with Lama Tsering. That was in 2003. We met Lama Tsering. We went up and had an audience with her, an interview with her, and I invited her to Chico, and she said she would come. And Catherine Gessner was very surprised. And so in 2005, Lama Tsering came to Chico and again gave some Red Tara teachings. She said, and BJ will be having Red Tara in her home every week. And I thought, oh, I better learn this practice because I'm going to be having this in my home. So that's how we started having Red Tara practice in 2003 in my home, which we have done all the way since then. Right now, during our COVID times, we're even doing Zoom Red Tara every Monday at 5:30. So that's how I came into the Chagdud Gompa. I spent a year with Lama Tsering up at the Gompa, which was, I know on my deathbed, I will be grateful for having had that year being in service at the Ridzinling Gompa. One of the reasons why it's very important to me to be a member is that Mama Pema explained to me that Chagdud Rinpoche actually formed membership so that we could have our foot in the pool of merit constantly. As humans, we cannot stay in a state of merit constantly. We always are making mistakes, etc., as we are human. And to have ourselves in that pool of merit constantly really meant a lot to me. And I immediately signed up to be a member. And I pointed this out to other people, as merit is such an important part of our Vajrayana Buddhism. The other aspects of being a member are you can get a discount on books at the bookstore. But the most important thing to me was being in that pool of merit. It's very, very, very special, and we are very lucky to be able to have membership in our Vajrayana Buddhism. Da